Gauteng police have arrested just over 50 undocumented migrants during Operation Shanela in Pretoria. Provincial Commissioner as well, Tommy Mthombeni, issuing a strong warning to people who employ or harbour undocumented migrants, saying they will face arrest and a fine.
Welcome back to Mzansi News Daily News, and as always, kindly smash that subscribe button, like and share this video so you never miss the latest breaking news from across South Africa. South Africa has faced growing challenges with illegal immigration for years, placing pressure on law enforcement, public services and border security. In response, police continue to intensify Operation Shanela, a nationwide crime-fighting campaign aimed at tackling serious crime and enforcing immigration laws. In the latest operation in Pretoria, Gauteng police swooped in and arrested more than 50 undocumented migrants during a coordinated crackdown. Gauteng Provincial Commissioner Tommy Mthombeni has issued a stern warning to anyone employing or harbouring undocumented migrants. He made it clear that those found breaking the law will face arrest, prosecution and hefty fines. Deputy Provincial Commissioner for Policing in Gauteng, Major General Fred Kekana, has shared further details about the operation and its objectives as authorities continue their efforts to strengthen law enforcement across the province. Stay with us until the very end, because I'll be giving my full analysis on what these arrests could mean for employers, undocumented migrants, and the future of Operation Shanela in South Africa.
Gauteng police have arrested just over 50 undocumented migrants during Operation Shanela in Pretoria. Provincial Commissioner as well, Tommy Mthombeni, issuing a strong warning to people who employ or harbour undocumented migrants, saying they will face arrest and a fine. So let's delve deeper into this particular operation. We're joined in studio by the Deputy Provincial Commissioner for Policing in Gauteng. That's Major General Fred Kekana. Thank you so much for coming through. Perhaps we start right there with these over 50 individuals that have now been arrested. Let's talk about this operation briefly.
All right, no, thanks very much, Bongi. In total, that was in the morning when we were still at the roadblock. In total, we managed to arrest 80 illegal immigrants within the operation which we held in Tshwane. And one person also was arrested for employing illegal immigrants. That's what happened.
And this one person, were they traveling with the other person in the car, or what are the circumstances?
No, he was traveling in his work vehicle. We found him with 3 people. All those people he said they are his employees, and those people also confirmed they are his employees, and all of them, they were undocumented. And mind you, in terms of the Immigration Act, the fine is that when you arrest one person, that person, the fine is 10,000 per person, which means this person has to pay 30,000 for all 3 people. And if we found you with 100 people, then it will be 100 times 10,000. You'll have to cough up over $1 million. And so.
And perhaps we talk about that a little bit more, because people are still unclear about that, because people still, continue to stay with people without documentation and all the risks that are involved there. And as you're detailing now this particular individual found with 3, but there are other individuals who are watching us tonight, and I suppose we address that, so that people are aware of what actually the law says. I want you to reiterate that.
All right. Yeah. Firstly, let me just start with general preventative measure. If you employ anybody, you need to have the full details of that person. Copy of the ID, the origin or the place of origin, the contact details of next of kin. In case that person, he just fall and pass out, then you know who to link with. And that also helps in case at a later stage the same person decide to rob you as the employer. Then you know where to go, and you have the record. However, when it comes to now a person employing someone who's undocumented or people who are undocumented, then it becomes illegal, because you cannot take somebody who's illegal in the country and employ that person. And this is prevalent in places where you'll find out it's groups of people. They do garden services, they do handiwork, they work in plots and farms. Some of them, they do house chores. They are domestic helpers or in various places. And that on its own, take note, as long as that person doesn't have legal document to be in the country, you are committing a crime and you'll be arrested for employing that person. And if that person, when reporting of duty, come to someone and where he or she rented, and the person who give accommodation to that person, you too, you need to know, have a copy of the ID, copy of the passport, a valid passport, or asylum documents that are genuine and valid, to ensure that you are safe and you employ or you stay with people that are legally in the country. If you stay with those people and they are also illegal in the country, you will be charged for harboring an illegal immigrant. That also, it's a crime on its own, and will appeal to our people. Let's not do that, because some of these people, illegal foreign nationals, some of them, they are being actually abused and exploited. Hence, they'll get them on the street, you'll find them standing, a painter, carpenter, etc. Then somebody just come in a back and say, Lord, come paint my house. Where a person who's supposed to earn a certain amount of money per hour, or for the certain type of job, that person is given meager money, which becomes unfair to that person, but it's also wrong in terms of our Labor Relations Act. So
there is, of course, criticism. I remember when this statement was posted earlier on social media, there were people who were saying you are reactionary in your approach and doing these operations during a time when, we've seen protests. But we've been reporting on Operation Shanela and what you've been doing. And perhaps you address that, because it is quite important, because you do have people who are criticizing you as police to say that you're only acting now.
Yeah, no, criticism is good, but it must be a constructive criticism. And in this case, it's an unfair criticism, because if you noted, for the past years, when we do Operation Shanela, every time, amongst the results we give, it's how many people we have arrested as undocumented. Just today, I'll just give example. We were at Pretoria Centre and Pretoria West Policing Precinct with Shanela. Just from April to June, just in Pretoria Central alone, Policing Precinct, they arrested 1,300 undocumented. And Pretoria West alone arrested 284 undocumented people, April, May, June. And that time, I'll say there was this hype of undocumented people, they are full, they are all over. Even before that, we arrested a lot. And just as our weekly reporting as the province of Gauteng guaranteed, if we arrested less for the past 2 years per week, it was 900, 800 to 1,000 something per week as a province, only on undocumented people. And just from Friday up to this morning, before today's Operation Shanela, we arrested 1,302 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then today only, we arrested 266 across the whole province of undocumented people.
So are you finding, though, that with these arrests, when you follow up, where do they end up? Because are you finding that people are back on the streets soon thereafter? Or are you finding that the arrests you're making, people go all the way? What is your follow-up telling?
No, there is a process flow. We as police, we can only arrest, but the people who must confirm and certify and verify the true identity is Department of Home Affairs. And in all Operation Shanelas, which we conduct in this province, Home Affairs is part and parcel. And right there on the spot, they do it. But in some cases, due to the amount of people that we arrest, you'll find out we have only 4 or 5 officials. Then at the police station, they send teams there to process each and every one and verify. And after that, they give us statements. The first working day within a reasonable time, that is within 48 hours, excluding weekends, of course, we make sure they appear before magistrate. The magistrate then gives an order that they must then be taken for deportation. And then we take them to Lindela. Fortunately, we have the National Repatriation Center in the county, or deportation center. It's here in our close proximity in our province in Gauteng. We take them to Lindela, and then Home Affairs, Immigration Department transport them to their various countries. As
a final one then, before I let you go, there was a shutdown, as they've described it, or protest in Greater Benoni, where we saw, some of the protesters going door to door when it comes to businesses and industrial areas. And they've had the police with them. They were accusing, the owners there of hiring people who are undocumented. There are all kinds of risks, because our reporter, for example, Nomvuyo, was speaking about the fact that some of the people there were feeling rather intimidated and threatened when some of these protesters were coming to their establishments. And then there were police there. So how then do you begin to balance that? Because you now have a situation where people feel intimidated and things can get out of hand very, easily, as we've seen even last week when we had some of the people here who were telling us that they were dragged out of their homes by protesters.
All right. Firstly, let me start with this one to say the people who can ask and check and verify whether a person it's got the right legal documents to be in the country, it's South African Police Service, Home Affairs, and BMA, Border Management Authority.
But the police stand by and watch what happens.
I'm coming there. We are the only legal people who can do that. And law enforcement officers, like traffic officers, they can do that. But as I alluded, we as SAPS, we arrest, but Home Affairs are the only ones who will then certify them. Now, this trend and this notion and this hype that is happening, where people now, individuals, unqualified, not even knowing which document is genuine or not authentic, go around asking people their identity documents. It's illegal. And just to impersonate, to present yourself, asking somebody an identity document on its own, if you are not a legally authorized person, it's a crime on its own and cannot be allowed and condoned. Now, nowadays, these people, they even come this much as to the police station and demand, station commander, give us this amount of vehicles, call Home Affairs to come with us, call Department of Employment, Labor, and go with us. That's not how it's supposed to be. We expect law-abiding citizens or citizens that are concerned of crime or illegal thing happening. You go to the law enforcement, you come to the police, you report, at this house, at this business, we suspect there is illegal immigrant. And out of that, we, as police, we plan, we engage relevant departments like Home Affairs, Employment and Labor, etc. Then we execute the plan. But nowadays, they come and they demand that we go with them. And in some cases, when we escort them to protect them and to protect where they say they are going to hand over a memorandum. That's where, in some cases, they will point somebody, do you have an ID? This person is illegal or this group is legal. And obviously, if they point and we are there, we have no reason not to execute because we in our presence. But that's not how it's supposed to be. They share with us information, then we plan and we execute it. Not under duress, not under their watch and being forced, but as our responsibility and day-to-day duties.
Appreciate your time. It's an ongoing conversation. Thank you for coming through today. Thank you so much. That's the Deputy Provincial Commissioner for Policing in Gauteng, Major General Fred Kekana.
South Africa's border crackdown is intensifying as authorities launch a major operation at the Beitbridge port of entry in Musina, Limpopo, one of Africa's busiest and most strategically important border crossings. For decades, Beitbridge has been a key gateway connecting South Africa and Zimbabwe, handling thousands of travelers and migrants every single day. Now it has once again become the center of a growing immigration operation. Welcome back to Mzansi News Daily News, and as always, kindly smash the subscribe button, like and share this video so you never miss the latest updates. Authorities have deployed additional officers and resources as buses carrying undocumented immigrants from different parts of the country continue arriving at the border for processing. The overnight operation signals a significant escalation in the government's efforts to tighten border security and enforce immigration laws. For the very latest developments, first-hand accounts from the undocumented immigrants, and exclusive insight from border officials, we now cross live to SABC News reporter Katlego Nyoni in Musina, Limpopo. Stay tuned until the end of this video, where I'll break down what this operation could mean for South Africa, border security, and the broader immigration debate.
Let's take you to the Beitbridge border post, which is in Musina and Limpopo. This is where undocumented immigrants from around the country are being processed. Several buses were expected to arrive overnight, prompting the deployment of additional staff to manage increased numbers. So let's get the latest now on the situation on the ground. I speak to SABC News reporter Katlego Nyoni, who is live there for us. Katlego, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. I'm seeing people behind you, buses and all. What is the latest?
Hi there, Bongiwe. Good evening to you and to Lasizo. Of course, Bongiwe, additional staff have been deployed to try and expedite this process to repatriate largely Malawian undocumented immigrants who have been in Musina for a number of days, of course, having traveled all the way from KwaZulu-Natal. As you can see there, Bongiwe, they're currently loading that particular bus while we were still holding for studio. One of the buses, Bongiwe, actually made its way out as well, and it was also full. But these are the scenes that we have been monitoring throughout the better part of the day with SABC News colleagues, that the buses would then come to this pick-up point. Now, these particular individuals that you are seeing on our screens right now that are that are loading this bus with their luggage, Bongiwe, have been taken from a repatriation center just further down the street, also in Musina, which is currently now, Bongiwe, as I talk to you now, full to capacity with immigrants that are waiting to then be moved to this particular location. In the morning, we noticed that the majority of them that were here were women and children, but now it's a mixture of all genders, and these are the scenes that we've been largely observing. And of course, in an hour or so ago, Bongiwe, while we were reporting from the repatriation center, there was a situation that unfolded. A stampede of some sort, commotion arose, and we saw a group of these undocumented Malawian nationals then being clashing with the police, and police had to then fire rubber bullets. We had 2 rounds of rubber bullets that were actually discharged, and this is when police were trying to sort of control the situation. But they have expressed frustration at the repatriation center that they are running out of amenities. They don't have food, they don't have proper toilets, ablution facilities. Essentially, they don't have any place where they could bath safely, and that it is simply for them what they say, that it is a crisis, and they are eager to then have the process of repatriation be fast-tracked so that they can get back to their country, which is Malawi. These are the majority of the people that are currently here at the Beitbridge border post. Currently, there is a meeting with Home Affairs officials, and the Home Affairs Minister, Dr. Leon Schreiber, was indeed in the area as well. He also visited the repatriation center, Bongiwe, to monitor the situation. Bongiwe.
And Katlego, you were in conversation with him earlier on, and he does speak about his own assessment of what, he sees on the ground. So perhaps we start with what you've just said, that some people are concerned at the pace at which this process is moving. What is he going to be doing about that?
So what they said is what you mentioned also, that they want to deploy additional staff and work with other sister departments in a bid to fast track this particular process. Hence the meeting that is currently now taking place, because he met with officials from the Border Management Authority, and also interestingly the South African Council of Churches were also present in that particular meeting, where he indicated that of course this is an unprecedented situation that they are dealing with, and they would like to come up with systems that will obviously see this situation, Bongiwe, then benefit those that are willing to be repatriated as well, because as we speak, majority of them are currently in Musina at Beitbridge. As you were talking to Mlondi Khadebe earlier on, he mentioned that several buses are on their way up to Musina. Indeed, we are informed that they are indeed waiting for more buses, and the numbers, Bongiwe, keep on increasing at this particular town in Musina, and of course at the Beitbridge border post, where they're then being repatriated, where they are now passing through the border. Officials are also saying that they have their hands full. However, they would like to see the situation obviously ease in the coming days. Bongiwe.
Sterling work as always. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Our reporter Katla Khonyoni, they're coming to us live from Musina in Limpopo. This is where the undocumented immigrants are being processed by border authorities. You heard it seems that there are some issues as far as the processing, the pace of the systems in and itself, and also just how things are going there. It seems some happiness there, but largely, as Katlaho says, it seems that the things that are moving somewhat. So we'll keep you updated on this particular story.